Let's just have a nice, chill talk about building your realm. And I wish kind of this. I mean, this message is universal, but I wish I kind of discovered this earlier. But that's all right. It's not a big deal to discover it late. But that's why I'm making this channel. So some of you young guys don't make the same stupid mistakes that I did and cause a whole lot of chaos in the world before turning your life to good. All right, let's talk about the realm. You, man, are the king of your realm. Like you're the king. Now, let's start to vet that out. So here's the deal. You have a realm, right? And I'll tell you how my realm worked. I lost my realm. So you got like this is like the abyss, right? It's the darkness. And I sunk my realm right into the darkness. So there's fog and it was dark everywhere, right? Like symbolism. Like it matched the realm of the abyss, like almost like hell, right? And then when I started coming to the truth, it started to pull away, right? And when you're pulling away from like the darkness of the abyss realm of like demons and stuff, like now they got to jump to get in. Before they could just walk in, it was like all like one land. So you start pulling away, kind of elevates you up. So that realm, that land, it's my realm as a man. Now, where'd it come from? Well, first it came from God. Second, I inherited it from my father, right? So you got like that's where you get these generational sins that come into play. Where you read a lot about this in the Bible, where it could be the father, the relatives that sinned. It could be the punishment of God for relatives that have sinned. That's kind of on you. It's in your realm. And a lot of this, if you guys think about this, it comes from maybe some of you young guys were exposed to, impurity and like magazines or like videos and stuff. And like a lot of I mean, I remember the first time like I ever saw something like that. It was, um, it was something I shouldn't have seen. And it was a guy who was heading up his own realm, right? His own household, his own family, and his son brought that out, and I saw it. And then I saw other aspects of it, but like generationally, like that usually gets passed down from from the father, and that's who inhabits the realm. If your dad's still living, that he's inhabiting your realm, and your family is on your realm. All right. So the closer you get to God, your little realm starts detaching from the abyss of hell, where you don't know light from darkness. Like you actually don't. You can't even tell the light from the darkness. But as it starts ascending, that's when you start shedding, uh, basically shedding sins, right? That's what you're getting rid of. That's how your land, your realm that you run as a king starts to get up. Now that don't mean that those demons can't pop up from the ground, because you got a lot of stuff to work through in that realm. Don't mean that the demons can't pop up and freaking just jump in. Most of the time, check this out, guys. You dudes are inviting them in, like through poor habits of watching stuff, of being weak in your mind and being weak in other places too, and chasing your base desires. Um, so the realm belongs to you. Now, check out the theology too of the realm belonging to you. The realm is ruled, it has to be ruled by what? What rules the realm? God. God rules the realm. That's what holds that whole framework together of the realm. Now, once you got that realm, you get all the stuff that's in it. So you got the sins and the goodness that's in it. You got family members that are in that realm. So, but as the head of the realm, as the king appointed by God of that realm, it ultimately, belongs to God, but it belongs to you. Like it's your duty to tend to that realm and everything that is in it. And here is what's in it. So you get married, like sacramental marriage, boom. Your wife is in your realm. Like she's on your land. Like she doesn't come with her own land. Like that's not how it works. Like you come with a realm. She comes into your realm. Your kids, um, they come into your realm. Like they're in your realm, right? You start having children. That's your genealogy. They are in your realm. Now, the sons, they'll inherit your realm one day, and the daughters will, hopefully get married of their own and go to, the realm of their husbands, right? They'll go on to a new realm, a new land, a new kingship over there. Um, about the realm as well is you gotta clean it up, and you could pick out all the sins and all the vices that you have, and you got to almost see them as places of places you got to clean up, places where there's like crazy pagan altars and sacrificing happening, all sorts of craziness, right? You got to go and clean those things up, and some of them you can physically clean up, like you can get rid of physical belongings that you have or that you've gotten that you can get rid of. Some of them need to be spiritually cleaned up. And the best way to clean this up, guys, is sacramentally, like through confession, right? By a duly appointed priest of God acting as in persona Christi, right? So acting as Christ. And when you do that, it's quite liberating. But here's the thing: like you can liberate yourself from that, but if you fall back into it habitually, those demons they're in your realm. And it's not just about you anymore. It's about your wife, it's about your children and the rest of the folks of your family that inhabit that realm. So, your mother, she's living, your father. The cool thing about the realm too is you can discover and take the time to vet out all of the vices that you have and start to build virtues, right? You could build them within your realm, build up those virtues. And I don't know what your virtues are going to look like. Like I don't know the buildings that you're going to put up in quote unquote your realm, but you got to build those up. The other thing as well, guys, is in your realm as you start to detach from the world, from the abyss, from hell, and you start to rise above it, you're going to want to start to build walls around your entire realm, like brick by brick, stone by stone, build up all of those. And sometimes, in my case, I remember when I first started, mentally like going through the realm and understanding, it's a metaphor for your soul, right? You're going to discover all those parts of your soul, your realm. And when you get in there and you start looking through it, you find a lot of places that you have to clean up. So you make big rubbish piles. Sometimes you start out and you just want to claim some ground back in your realm. That's it. Like, the whole giant expanse belongs to you. It belongs to God, but it belongs to you, right? You're the king of it temporarily until your son inherits it. But but in the beginning, you just want to make a fort for yourself, right? Because those demons that are there, they feel like they're the natives of the land. They want you out. They don't want any God there. You gotta build up those walls and pop up a cross, and start literally going to war. And I think that's it's also good for men as well to constantly be fighting. And you could thank God for a lot of that stuff, because once you wake up and you could have a focus to battle these demons, like battle your vices, battle, you know, your inclinations to not be virtuous, you have something to do. Like God is allowing those chastisements, and maybe God's even allowing those chastisements to save you from greater sins. I remember every time I would, particularly fight, certain like kind of demons in the realm, I would feel very proud afterwards, very, very proud. And that ain't from God. That's not from God. Like I'd be like, oh, look what I've done. I've conquered this thing. I've destroyed it. I've vanquished it. I am proud. But that ain't from God. So at this point, the fact that, temptations arise on a regular basis for me gives me something to constantly fight against, constantly conform myself to God, and fight these little demons and these temptations. That way I don't get proud, because pride's the one of the worst sins you can possibly get. Like it leads to everything else. So what I want you guys to think about is kind of what's in your realm. Where you at? Are you in the abyss? Are you in hell? Is it fogged up? Is it jacked up? Probably. Mine was so jacked up it was like it was in the land. It wasn't even above. It was like in it. Couldn't see sunshine, couldn't see anything, couldn't see any light. And I had to cut that place out. I had to recapture it because I gave it away. I gave it away. That was on me. I gave it away piece by piece, and then a whole lot at a certain time. I negotiated it all the way for whatever it might be, for bits of perceived pleasure that left me empty inside. And you have a responsibility for that realm too, because your wife is in that realm, and your children, and you don't want a bunch of foul spirits messing that up, because those spirits, like that generational stuff, it's legit, guys. It's for real. It's 100% for real. It's biblical, and everyone knows it. Like if you had like family members like back in the day that did weird stuff and hasn't been paid for by God, like that's still on you, man. That's on you to clean up, and you gotta forgive your ancestors for their wrongs and start to clean up that realm. But the good thing, guys, is as you clear out the land and you cultivate and you build and you make walls, and it gets cleaned up real quick. It gets cleaned up real quick, and you get to rise above very, very quickly. Go from a place that was given away completely, but I have to tell you something. It's not yours to give away in the first place. So you gave it away, but it didn't belong to you ultimately. It belongs to God. It belongs to the generations that are going to come after you. So you can't necessarily give it up, but you have to start reclaiming it bit by bit. And that means organizing your life, like getting right with God, getting right with the church, getting right with your marriage, getting, starting to build virtue. And think about that. When you're building virtue, you got to put up those walls. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can't do when you're being virtuous. Even it comes down to like drinking too much, right? Drunkenness. Like how many times have you made poor decisions from drinking too much, or partying too much, or following your libido, following your base desires. So think of yourself, guys. You're a warrior king of this realm, and start reclaiming it bit by bit. Build up those walls, get those fortresses, start fighting those nasty little demons that you got. Build your virtue, keep turning towards Christ, if you're Catholic, turn towards the sacrament of confession, start getting right with God, attending mass, doing the readings, like start really formulating your life around living rightly, and don't invite those demons in, because it's you that, it's not like they just like come in by themselves. Like, hey, I mean, temptation like comes and goes by itself, and you can kind of battle that off, but that's nothing. But the real root cause, the real sins, and the real, when you're giving up land, you're inviting that stuff in. You're actively doing it, full will, full knowledge, full consent. Like that's how sin works. Full knowledge, full will, full consent. You can't be tricked into it. You can't, like, I mean, you have to purposely go out of your way to say, here, I want you to invade my land. I want you to mess with my family because these little devils are in your land. So start thinking about your realm in that aspect and start cutting it out and reclaiming it so you can rise above. Um, I'll say one last thing. I remember, about my realm, and I had to, kind of, I imagined this whole thing in the realm, and it's probably a gift from God, right? So I imagined I had to go down underneath my realm, right? Because my realm was jacked up. Because here's what happened to my realm: there are freaking chains holding my realm to the base, right? And there was a space in between it. And during this, kind of meditation and gift from God, like I went out of my realm. I went underneath into the abyss, into the darkness, into hell. Like I saw it, and I saw the chains, and I saw the columns that were holding, my realm to the abyss of hell, to the attachment of this world. And I had to go start cutting those things down. And do you know what happened to me? Like in this gift from God, my freaking realm came down, crushed me, like crushed me into the land, like into my own land, killed me. Right? I died. I had to die, and I ended up like in a church. Right? I ended up in a church underneath the altar in an unmarked grave and coming out of that. Okay, so you can get real crazy with this. Like meditate on it. Let God take you where He's going to take you. Be careful of where the devil takes you. Anything that gets super weird, you got to get rid of. I'll say one last thing: the realm too. When you see, the demons coming for you, or they're trying to entrap you with their chains and their ropes and all of that stuff. Don't forget, guys, grab hold of those chains. The same chains that they're trying to bind you with, they're bound. They're bound to those chains. They can't let go. You can do two things with those chains. You could let go, right? Don't even take the chains at all. You could just let go of the chains. Or you could take the chains, you could drag that freaking demon right out and throw him right out of your land, right out of God's land, right out of the land of your soul, the land that you reign over for your family. So think about that too, that when they come for you and they're trying to chain you up and they're tempting you, that you can physically grab them by their own chains that they can't let go of. They bound that. They're bound. They made that choice. They're done. They're done for. They're bound. So you can drag them out. And in the beginning, maybe sometimes you're just going to see those chains and you ain't going to put them on, because like sin's always like that. It's like it asks you to put the chains on. It says put these chains on, and it tricks you. It says you can't get out of these chains. You can't get out. But I mean, the truth is, you could take them off. You could take them off. So think about that, guys. Start ruling your realm. Be the king of your realm. Take care of your family. Don't invite things. Clean it up. Get it nice, and keep it that way. That's it for now. Out.